Hello. Varun said he won't be doing much talking for some reason. So I don't know what you're going to do there, Praisey.
Hello, everyone. My name is Praisey. I've been coming to this church from, I think, more than 8 or 9 years now. Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Varun and I'm Prezi's husband. Yeah, as Prezi said, we've been in this church more than 7 or 8 or 9 years and we enjoyed every bit of it. So, thank you.
Yeah, these guys are an amazing couple, honestly. I just want to ask a bit about fasting and your experience of that. So, what was your first experience of fasting and what was it like?
So I started fasting when I was doing my graduation. It was kind of more of a ritual, following my family, parents, and everybody, because everybody else is doing it, so I should be doing. And to get something, or probably I used to have that feeling that if God is going to do something after once we finish the fast. But that was in an illusion I was in. But later, after knowing God deeply, I've realized that I was doing it all wrong. And it was more like once I've come to know God, I've come to know the meaning of fasting, how it feels like. And that's my opinion. And
My definition of fasting is sacrifice. You have to sacrifice in everything. Mostly when we say fasting, we think about food, food fasting. Yes, food is one of the part, but apart from food, there are other things we can fast on as well. So and the first time I fasted is when I was desperate for something, and it wasn't happening in my life. So I thought, one of the preacher or pastor, I have to say, gave me a suggestion that just fast and pray, and trust in the God, and keep faith. And I did that, and it didn't happen straight away the next day after fasting, but it did happen eventually. So the power of fasting is really powerful. Yeah, thank you.
And can you talk a bit about why you fast and do you fast for specific things as well?
yeah, I think fasting is so I've told you that I've come to know the meaning of fasting. So I started to fast, and fasting is where this is my personal opinion, so I feel like it's reconciling with God for our wrongdoings and turning back to God again, having that clear heart once again, making things right with God. And so I began doing that, and I've changed so much. My personality, my character, my attitude, everything has changed. And
What was the question again? Sorry, I forgot. Sorry.
Why do you fast, and are there specific things you fast for?
Fasting is, why do we fast? It's not like, if you want something, you have to fast. It's like disciplining yourself from everything, like from food to everything, as my wife said, in your attitude, in your character, and everything. Treating how you treat others. Your life should be different. What you are now, and after fasting, people should be able to see the difference of fasting. So it's not like as a ritual thing, but you have to make a real difference in your life and also in others' life as well. Thank you.
Do you think it will make a difference that I'm fasting from Instagram?
yes, I think it would make massive difference, because you take your mind off from it, and then you concentrate. Yeah, I've written down some notes on fasting, but we focus more on God rather than ourselves, concentrating on who's posting, who's liking my post, and all that. Yeah, so I would definitely say it would make a difference. At least we gain some self-control on us.
Yeah, I feel that self-control. What tips do you have for people who are trying to fast for the first time?
Yeah, I would say we have to start with one day at a time. Maybe if anybody wants to start fasting in the beginning, I would say just try skipping a meal, and then it's not just skipping a meal. The time we set aside for fasting, it should be productive. We should spend time in prayer and reading the word. If you don't mind, I want to say an example of, so a few years ago when I fasted, that's the first time I fasted. After knowing God deeply, it was when I was going through some thoughts that were bothering me. And I know that doesn't align with God's standards, God's ways. So I wanted to fast on it, and because I didn't find anything else to make me right with God again. So I wanted to fast. And also it's written in the Bible that many people fasted and prayed. They saw the wonders of God. They saw miracles, what God did. Even Israelites, when they fasted and prayed for their disobedience, God hadn't forgiven their sins. So I was going through those thoughts, and I decided to fast a full day, actually. So when I fasted, and I spent my day in prayer, kneeling down, crying out to the Lord. I went and closed the door, and I've done all my things, duties, looking after kids, but then I went and shut the door, and I was crying out to the Lord and asking me to, Lord, make me right again. I want to be clear in my thoughts, clear in my everything, in the way I think, the way I see. So I decided to do that. And after my prayer, getting up from prayer, I had a new heart. It was a clear heart. And I think since then, I never had those thoughts again that were bothering me. And that was the day I realized there is power in fasting. And for those who want to fast, there's a verse in Mark chapter 9, verse 29. It says, when the disciples come to Jesus, when they want to cast the demon out from the boy, they couldn't do it. But Jesus told the disciples, how can we do that? How can we cast the demon out? So Jesus replied to them that this can be done only through prayer and fasting. That verse has, it's like imprinted in my heart. So I thought, if Jesus said to the disciples that way, it's not just casting out demons, but I think Jesus said that for a reason, that there is power in fasting, and Jesus himself has fasted and has been an example for us. So definitely, if Jesus had done that, we ought to do as well.
Yeah, my suggestion for the first time who wants to fast is try it. Yeah, not for 40 days, but try. There are different types of fasting from social media, and especially nowadays, it's like, you can't live without social media. Think about the years, let's say 5 years, 7 years, 10 years back, there's no social media at all. So we used to have time for family, we used to have time for reading Bible and prayer and everything. So you need to go back. It's not like, you can't live without food or without social media or anything, but you can do it. Try it, as my wife said, one day, or skipping a meal in a day. And it's not like just skipping and then, going around places, visiting places. So when you're skipping, you have to set that time to spend time in God, read the Bible, and keep praying and ask God what you want. Obviously, it's all about asking, isn't it? Whenever we pray, we just ask, and we wait to receive it. Try it, and it will work. And our God is not the God of failure. Whatever you ask in His name, He will give it. But it should be in line with God's will as well. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. You can give them an applause for giving us such great tips as well.